Now that we understand the features and benefits of System 75, let's preview the 6 simple steps to successful ear piercing. Prepare, cleanse, mark, load, pierce, and aftercare. At the completion of these chapters, you will be well on your way to performing your first ear piercing service. Next, you will discover the unique needs when piercing children of all ages. And finally, we will answer frequently asked questions about ear piercing. At the conclusion of this instructional video, you will have the skill and confidence to perform your very first ear piercing service. Properly greeting and preparing with the customer is essential for successful ear piercing. First, introduce yourself and welcome them to your business. When seating your customer, be sure to seat them in a position and location that is comfortable and safe for ear piercing. Present your selection of piercing studs or hoops with either the System 75 catalogue or any of the System 75 collection displays. Once your customer has selected the piercing stud or hoop, remove the twin package sterilised cartridges and confirm that they contain the correct studs or hoops. Next, arrange on a clean surface the System 75 instruments, Studex sterile skin cleansing pad, Studex non-toxic marking pen and handheld mirror. Now that your piercing system setup is completed, it's time to review the ear piercing release and aftercare procedure form. Read carefully along with your customer so that he or she fully understands the service about to be performed. Have the customer sign and date both the release portion and aftercare portion of the form and set it aside. You will review the aftercare portion of the form after the piercing service is completed. It is now time to cleanse the ears for piercing. First, use an alcohol-based waterless hand sanitizer to properly clean your hands. If you notice visible loose debris or dirt on your hands, it is recommended that you wash with soap and water first and then use the hand sanitizer. Always put on your latex examination gloves immediately after cleaning your hands. Gently inspect both ears for any cysts or keloids that would prevent safe ear piercing. If you find anything that looks unsafe for piercing, kindly inform the customer and suggest that they see their physician before having their ears pierced. Now, using the Studex sterile skin cleansing pad, gently clean the front and back of both ears where the piercing will be placed. If you do not have Studex sterile cleansing pads, use rubbing alcohol and saturate a clean cotton wipe or swab. Once both ears have been cleaned, inspected and deemed safe for piercing, it's time to mark where the ear piercings will be placed. Have the customer move and secure their hair up and away from the ears. With the customer facing you directly, carefully examine where the piercings will be placed on each ear. Avoid touching the ears while marking them. If you have to touch or hold the ear to mark properly, you must remove and dispose of your latex gloves and re-glove with a new pair before you proceed with piercing. Using the Studex non-toxic marking pen, mark the first ear. Every ear is not the same. For level placement on each ear, use the nose and mouth on your customer's face as a reference for alignment, then mark the other ear. Once both ears are marked, hand the customer the handheld mirror so that they can confirm that each mark is correct and acknowledge that it is okay to proceed with the ear piercing. Leave the handheld mirror in the hands of the customer for the remainder of the piercing service. Now that you have marked the ears, you can proceed with loading the piercing cartridge onto the System 75 instrument. Wipe the instrument completely and set it down on the clean prep area. Take the twin cartridge package and carefully separate the two by tearing apart along the perforation. Set one cartridge package down. Take the other and carefully remove the sterile backing, exposing the piercing cartridge. Do not remove or touch the cartridge. In one hand, hold the sterile cartridge package using your thumb and index fingers. In the other, hold the System 75 instrument. Place the clasp end of the cartridge on top of the instrument first, then the back portion of the cartridge. Gently press the clasp end, then the back end of the cartridge down into the instrument until you hear a click. Remove the sterile cartridge package, but do not discard it. Simply place it on the clean surface for use later. You are now ready to pierce. Notice that the piercing stud or hoop and point are visible in the cartridge. This feature will help as a guide for accurate piercing on the placement mark. Carefully position the ear between stud point and clasp. Align the point of the stud with the mark on the ear by gently squeezing the instrument just enough to make contact with the ear. To realign the point, simply release the instrument and it will freely separate, allowing you to reposition the point for accurate placement. When you are ready to pierce, hold the instrument and point perpendicular to the ear and simply squeeze the instrument all the way to its stop point. The stud or hoop and clasp will automatically engage, leaving perfect spacing through the ear. Release the instrument and move it straight down away from the ear. It will automatically disengage the cartridge from the stud or hoop for easy removal. Once you have finished the piercing, take the sterile cartridge package and place it back on top of the cartridge while it is still in the instrument. Squeeze the sides of the cartridge with your thumb and index fingers while also squeezing slightly on the instrument. Release the instrument, lift off used cartridge and discard both. Repeat this process on the second ear. Once you have completed both ear piercings, it's time to start the aftercare. Take the signed release and aftercare form and review the aftercare steps necessary for proper healing. Remove it from the release portion and give both the aftercare instructions and the Studex after piercing lotion to the customer. Take the Studex after piercing lotion and saturate a cotton pad or swab. Gently clean around the piercing, making sure to soak the area liberally. Gently rotate the piercing stud or hoop 180 degrees in either direction, as well as back and forth after every cleaning. Customers must not remove the piercing studs for the duration of the healing process. Explain to the customer that they will need to repeat this procedure at home at least once a day for a minimum of 6 weeks for optimum healing. Proper aftercare is essential to the healing of newly pierced ears. Be sure that customers leave with Studex after piercing lotion. More frequent cleaning is necessary after daily physical activities, such as working out at the gym. Hairstyling products like hairspray can cause irritation. Be sure to recommend cleaning after excessive use of these types of products every day. Remind them to be careful when putting on or removing clothing so as not to snag the ear-piercing stud or hoop. They should avoid touching the new piercing whenever possible. After the 6-week healing period, recommend that customers use only 100% hypoallergenic fashion earrings, such as Studex Sensitive Fashion Collection. These earrings are created from surgical stainless steel, plated with 24-karat gold, and are specially made for sensitive ears. Customers must also understand that it can take as long as 9 months for a newly pierced ear to become permanent.